So, a few people have told me that maybe it's time to stop camping. I can't quite figure out why, but anyway, let's talk about how to store your tent for the winter. When you get home from any trip, you want to set up your tent in a warm, dry place so that it can air out and dry out and no mold will develop. Then, you want to make sure that it's clean. Using warm water and a cloth is a great option. Sometimes, if your tent's a little bit more dirty than that, you'll need to use something else. Nick Wax and some of the other companies that we carry make what's called a tent wash, or a tent and gear solar wash is the one from Nick Wax. Use that and make sure that your tent's clean before storing it. Contrary to popular belief, when you're storing your tent, you shouldn't fold it and roll it. A lot of people think that you should, and it's a great option for getting your tent as small as possible. So when you're headed out on a trip, by all means fold and roll it. However, when you're storing your tent long term, what you should really do is you should mix it up and stuff it. Every time that you fold your tent following the same pattern that you did last time or out of the store, you're going to create a weakness in the fabric and the DWR, or durable water repellent, that's on the tent. Try mixing it up and stuffing your tent. Stuffing your tent is going to make a pretty irreplaceable pattern of folds, and that's then going to really extend the lifetime of that waterproofing on your tent. The next thing that throws a lot of people for a loop is you want to store your tent poles extended. I know, right? Bonkers. So, obviously this isn't possible for everybody. If you don't have a lot of space, it's not a huge problem. But basically, if you were to take an elastic and hold it stretched for as long as possible, eventually it's not gonna, bounce back to the same degree. Tent poles have what we call shock cord. It's basically an elastic that runs through them all. And when you pull the tent pole apart and bend it, that elastic is then extended up and over. And so that elastic is stretched when those tent poles are stored. Storing your tent poles extended and long is going to really increase the lifetime of that elastic in there, and you're not going to need to replace it as soon. So the best way to take care of your gear is really to keep it moving. So get outside and enjoy the outdoors. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know in the comments below.